I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Edwards.
Ah, Fordham. Always a pleasure.
Have you got time for some questions?
Of course.
So what can you tell me about Ronan Lespay?
Caucasian male, approximately 27 years old. Died of blood loss as a result of being shot at close range. He was brought in 4 nights ago. I performed the post-mortem the following day. After that, his next of kin was contacted. I believe his sister came to identify the body.
Any personal opinions on what might have happened?
Well, the fact he was shot at such a close range would suggest it was done by someone he knew. And robbery doesn't appear to be a motive, since his wallet was found on the body with money in it. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Better, I hope.
Immer am Singen, die Peaches. Entschuldigung. Obduktion.
Did the post-mortem reveal anything?
Quite a few things, actually. Mr. Lespay was extremely inebriated when the shooting took place. There was enough alcohol in his blood to presume he had been drinking for hours before his death. I also managed to remove the bullet from his heart. It's a .36 caliber lead ball, standard revolver shot. It shouldn't be too hard to match to a weapon, provided you can find it.
Okay. Ronins Kleider. Ronin.
Did you notice anything unusual about the clothes Mr. Lespay was wearing?
Unusual? Not really. They seemed a bit big for him, but that's all.
His sister seemed convinced that they didn't belong to him.
That's a distinct possibility, but I couldn't say for sure. He could have just been a sloppy dresser.
Sloppy Dresser. Oh, wenn ich Sloppy höre, muss ich mal an Sloppy Joes denken. Boah, darauf hätte ich... Oh, da habe ich auch mal wieder Bock drauf.
So no murder weapons been found?
That's right. Either the killer still has it, or the police just overlooked it. If you happen across any weapons in your investigation, be sure to bring them to me. I can tell you if it matches the bullet.
Thank you, Edwards. I'll be on the lookout.
Spoiler, Peachy ist der neue Coach, The Voice Kids.
How's the coroner business?
Things have been pretty dead around here lately.
Don't quit your day job, Edwards.
Die Wahl.
What are your thoughts on the election?
There was an election?
Ah!
I think our friend Edwards needs to get out a bit more.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham. And remember, not everyone gets to leave the morgue alive. So consider yourself lucky that you can.
Hätten die Kinder wenigstens mal Spaß? Ach, die haben so auch Spaß. Der suchende Mutter. Sollen wir mit ihr mal reden, wenn wir schon mal da sind?
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Ronan Lespay, would you?
Probably nothing more than you already know. His body is in the mortuary, and the reason for his murder is unknown. I suggest you speak with Dr. Edwards.
Haben wir doch.
I'm guessing you can't go over this case with me either.
I have to distance myself completely from this one. So when you figure it out, you'll need to speak directly to Mrs. Morgan. I can still try and help you if there's something specific giving you trouble, though.
How are things with you?
Better than last week, but plenty of feathers still ruffled around here.
What happened?
You have to ask. Snelling was not happy with you turning up at the Latham crime scene. He was a right inquisition around here. Snelling going around to interrogate everyone, trying to ferret out a leak.
So he suspects.
I'm afraid so. I managed to calm him down some and divert suspicion. He thinks someone on the force is speaking to the Gazette, not to you directly.
Well, that's some kind of relief. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, don't worry about me. Well, maybe worry about me a little.
Die Wahl. Jäger, Schnitzel, Putenschnitzel, Champignon, Spätzle. Boah, das ist mit einer meiner Lieblings... Essen. Immer wenn ich irgendwo bin und da gibt's das. Ich möchte immer was anderes bestellen. Aber wenn ich das dann sehe, ich kann nicht anders. Und am besten noch so ein bisschen mit Käse überbacken. Boah. I love it.
That was one hell of an election, wasn't it?
That it was. I don't know how he managed it, but I'm glad Leroy won.
I can't say I agree, but I'm not really surprised. Leroy may have started as something of a dark horse, but his campaign had been gaining a lot of steam leading up to the election. Pun not intended.
Yes, well, it's the Steam Tech issue that clinched it. When something like the Ligeia happens, people start to wake up and wonder if we really want contraptions like that in our lives.
You have to admit, he was playing up on people's fears. Not exactly the most honorable way of getting into office.
Fordham, since when have politics ever been honorable?
Jägerschatz ist gar nicht so. Oh, hat keinen Käse mehr da. Breze schämt sich so. Ach, Quatsch. Nein. Hast du es selber gemacht? Oh, lecker.
Upton, I need you to put out a bulletin. There's someone I need found.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know his name. I only have a description.
All right, I'll need to ask you a few questions. Could you describe the man's height and build?
Klein und untersetzt, groß und breit, durchschnittlich und mittel.
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
Schwarz, braun, gold. Blond. Oh Gott, jetzt weiß ich es nicht mehr. War der nicht... Ich dachte grauhaarig? Blixen. Weiß noch jemand von euch? Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, ob da jemand doch aufgepasst hat. Aber der war doch groß und breit, ne? Ich selber vom Metzger gekauft, Schlachten ist nicht so meins. Ja gut, Schlachten muss jetzt nicht. Oh mein Gott! Jetzt habe ich es natürlich auch nicht aufgeschrieben oder sowas wahrscheinlich. Nicht aufgepasst, meine Mutter ist da nicht. Hat nicht so gelabert. Okay. Also blond glaube ich jetzt nicht. Ach, kann das. Aber euch ist auch verlassbar. Manchmal. Ich glaube blond, schwarz, braun. Soll man schwarz oder braun nehmen oder blond? Okay, was sollen wir nehmen? Ich versuche mich zu konzentrieren, aber ich weiß es nicht. Nimm blond. War es nicht braun? Super. Doch, aber hab nicht so gut gespeist wie du. Braun kann sein. Prita, hast du aufgepasst? Du klingst so sicher. Komm, wir nehmen mal braun.
I'm sure it's brown.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to
Narbe.
identify?
Komplett schwarz geklebt. Ach so, wen suchen wir denn jetzt eigentlich? Nee, nicht so genau. Oh.
I was told he was dressed all in black.
I see. Well, I'll put out the bulletin, but that's a bit of a generic description.
Oh, shit.
All right. The bulletin is out. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Thanks, Upton. I appreciate the help.
Ich dachte, wir suchen den mit der Narbe, oder nicht? Ronans Wohnung durchsuchen, das haben wir doch gemacht, oder? Mit Dr. Edwards über den Mord sprechen, haben wir doch auch gemacht. Hatte einen Bart oder Koteletten. Ah, Mist. Aber großer, breitschulteriger Mann. Schwarz gekleidet. Ja gut, aber ich konnte ja mich nur entscheiden. Entweder oder, ne? Peaches, du bist echt eine wahre Expertin. Verarsche mich gerade. Warum? Zum Chat auch besser, wie viel die schreiben. Man muss voll auf den Soundtext achten. So. Wir fragen die Dame nochmal vielleicht, Weiß sie ja was.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Das müssen wir wahrscheinlich wieder trinken, oder? Seltsamer Mann.
I was given the physical description of a man, and I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
Perhaps. Go on, then.
He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
No. Can't say I did, sorry.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weil du dir gerade sicher warst, wen du beschreiben sollst, und dann kommt der Satz, um mir geht es denn gerade. Das fand ich gerade, ach so. Ja, Breze, wir sind jetzt auch gleich durch. Aber ja, ich dachte, wir suchen dann auch vielleicht den mit der Narbe oder sowas. Ja, was weiß ich nicht. Ich dachte, wir spielen das Spiel zusammen. Will ich nur mal so sagen. Opianhöhle, da kommen wir ja wieder nicht hin. Dunk, dunk, dunk.
No answer.
Klärwerk. Auf den Chat ist nicht Verlass, Kappa.
Moment of your time, if I may.
Right, I'll make it quick.
I wonder if you could tell me if you saw a man of this description at the Silent Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Oh, aye. Cormac remembers seeing a fella like that.
Oh,
What was he doing?
Kept going in and out of the bar. When he was inside, he stood near the voting booths, hardly moving a muscle.
And when he was outside?
That, Cormac couldn't say.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yes, Cormac noticed him come in and speak with Nicole, the barmaid, after the commotion outside.
Is that right? That's very interesting.
Fräulein.
I'll let you return to your work.
Be mindful on your way out.
Mit Flühlein. Warum hast du gesagt, du hast nicht mit dem, du hast ihn nicht gesehen? Flühlein. Warum? Du lügst mich an. Ja, war auch mal hier. Ah, nee. Der hat mir... Nee. Nur das Beweis schon der Fall ist Mutter schuld. Es war der Butler mit dem Gärtner im Auftrag der bösen Stiefmutter. Und es war ein Apfel beteiligt, oder? Hat vielleicht diese nette Flühlein da was mit der zu tun? Flühlein. Du hast mich gelogen an.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
You know that description I gave you earlier? Of the tall man in black?
Yeah, what about it?
I spoke with Cormac, and he told me he saw you speaking with someone fitting that description shortly after the murder occurred.
And you believed him? Cormac's a good sort, but he's not exactly reliable.
I'd say he's twice as reliable as you are. Now tell me the truth, or I'll have you in as an accomplice to murder.
All right, relax. I don't know the man by name, but he came to me after the commotion outside and paid me a few crowns to keep my mouth shut about it. I didn't ask any more questions, and I wasn't about to refuse some extra cash. That was that, I swear.
That's not good enough. I need some way to find this man. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Well, I did notice he had a scar on his
Siehste?
left cheek. Kind of looked like a shepherd's crook. But that's all, really.
I suppose that'll have to do.
Siehst,
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
siehste. Die Backennarbe. Los Baccolos. Nabos auf the Baccolos. Aber Ronins Wohnung haben wir doch schon angeschaut. Müssen wir dann noch irgendwas sehen?
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my co-workers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Und das haben wir nicht vorher lesen können. Wie... Das ist doch voll unlogisch gewesen, oder? Schauen wir aber noch mal dahin.
No title.
Okay. Das ist doch voll unlogisch gewesen. Wo ist die Crimson Cat? Ach, hier sind wir ja wieder. Sieh einer an.
Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
Wir haben ihn gefunden.
You know Ronan Lespay?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
Oh
How do you
nein.
mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms. He made it very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
Oh nein. Beziehungskrise. Ging zu großen Dreck.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes, Ronan and I were a couple, at least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
Also für das, dass die zusammen waren und erst einen Monat das Ende der Beziehung war und ich ihm gerade gesagt habe, dass er tot ist, ist das sehr gefasst, oder? Also, ich weiß ja nicht.
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
Jimbo,
It's
Jimbo,
just a
Jimbo,
nickname.
da-da.
My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
I'm a sailor. I thought you detective types were supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwood.
Do you have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually away at sea, so I don't keep up with politics. The sea's got her own laws. Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
But you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No, I suppose it isn't. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Something tells me we've reached a dead end. You should give Mrs. Morgan the bad news.